with REI call center, it's very turnkey. Not knowing too much about cold calling itself, and the process behind once the lead is generated, things like that. But I mean, after seeing multiple people have their success with it, and then not only that, but having a team that helps you with the entire process, that kind of alleviated all the stress as a whole. As you can imagine, you're looking at something and not knowing the entire process of it as a whole, right? You're kind of just looking at it as a challenge. It's a new thing I have to learn and stuff like that. But again, having the team on board and having a group of other people that have already gone through it and have already used cold calling as a whole, having having them share their experiences, things like that, and kind of just as like a helping hand throughout the entire process, it just made it go that much easier, that much quicker. The learning and implementing as a whole, both of those. The learning and implementing, that helped a ton. But what helped the most for me was getting over that hurdle was within I'd say the first month. And then I ended up picking up a second VA just because of how quickly things progressed, right? I picked up the first VA. I found success with the first one. And then just with the implementation and just learning from everybody that's a part of the team as a whole, and giving feedback from the VAs to myself and myself to the VAs left and right, and everybody just being on board of the same entire process, really helped a ton. And that was what made it easier for me to pick up the second VA and so on and so forth. So a little bit of a backstory on that. I was doing text blasting. I was doing direct mail for, about 4 to 5 months that I was trying those out. Didn't really have much success with it. And then, like I said, I always saw the cold calling, and it was kind of just a mysterious thing. It sounds like a lot, I'm gonna have to input lists and things like that, a script. But again, REI call center has their own script, so you don't have to worry about any of that. It was very turnkey. But as far as the successes, as soon as I think I want to say it was mid-September, about September 15th, I picked up a VA. The first one, and then October 5th, via one of the cold calls, I was able to lock up a deal. And then about within that same week, I was able to lock up a second deal, and those both closed in November. And like I said, I was doing text blasting and direct mail for previous 5 months, with little to no success on that part. And then in September, I picked up the first VA, and I was able to lock up 2 contracts 2.5 weeks later. And then those both closed in beginning of November. And that's from cold calling, yeah. And then I was able to pick up a second VA. I want to say, so it was within that same week that the deal had closed in November, or both deals had closed. Picked up a second VA. I started putting different systems in place, and then I was getting more leads coming in. And here we are, mid-December. Tomorrow, I'm locking up 2 more deals. Go out and do it, because again, I've tried a number of different forms of marketing, and the number one for me, at least, has been cold calling. And like I mentioned before, with REI call center, it's very turnkey. You're not training the VAs on your own. You're not implementing a script on your own. You're not having to, because that could be a job in itself, right? Trying to figure out your own script. It's very turnkey. It's kind of just like a plug and play kind of deal. So I would say just go out and do it. It's worth it 100% in my opinion. Until I saw someone playing at a high level, most of their marketing came from cold calling, and most of their successes came from cold calling. That's whenever I figured, hey, if he's doing it, he's getting a ton of deals. I'm not going to try and do anything different. I'm going to do the same exact thing. So that's whenever I picked up the VA, and that's kind of what led me to picking up the VA, was seeing someone playing at a high level. doing only cold calling. Yeah.